My ex-wife is trying to destroy my new relationship because my family always treated her like a princess. Hey Reddit, so I'm Ethan, 38, and I'm dealing with some insane family drama. My older brother was always the golden child, my younger sister the spoiled baby, and me, I was just there. Now my ex-wife Olivia is using that dynamic to try and ruin my life. We divorced amicably, or so I thought. Turns out she's not over it and is now harassing my new girlfriend Maya online. My family, of course, is taking her side. I'm at my wit's end. What do I even do? It all started with a seemingly innocent Instagram post. Maya and I were at Zilker Park, kayaking on Lady Bird Lake. Sun was setting, we were laughing, just a perfect Austin evening. I snapped a pic of her, all glowing and happy, and posted it with a cheesy caption about finding happiness again. I tagged her naturally. Big mistake. The next morning my phone was blowing up. Notifications from Instagram, Facebook, even Twitter platforms I barely use. I clicked on one and my stomach dropped. It was a comment on my photo, from some random account I didn't recognize. Maya honey, you might want to check this guy's credit score before you get too serious. Just saying. Innocuous enough, right? Wrong. I scrolled through the comments and they got progressively worse. Accusations about me being a deadbeat dad, I'm not, I'm incredibly involved with my kids. Insinuations about Maya being a gold digger, she's a doctor, for crying out loud. And even a fake screenshot of a supposed text conversation where I was supposedly trash-talking Maya to a friend. It was all lies. My hands started shaking, I felt this wave of nausea wash over me. Who would do this? Then I saw it. One of the fake accounts had a profile picture that was blurred, but I recognized the background. It was Olivia's childhood bedroom. The same floral wallpaper I'd stared at for hours during our marriage. My heart pounded in my chest. It was her, she was behind it all. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. I called Olivia immediately. It went straight to voicemail. I texted, Olivia, what the hell are you doing? No response. I was panicking. Maya was going to see this. Everyone was going to see this. My carefully constructed new life was crumbling around me. I called my mom, desperate for some kind of support, some kind of understanding. Mom, Olivia is harassing Maya online. She's spreading lies about me. You have to talk to her. My mom's response. Oh, Ethan, don't be dramatic. Olivia's just upset. You need to give her time. Time? She was trying to ruin my life and my mom was telling me to give her time. I hung up, feeling more alone than ever. This wasn't just about Olivia anymore. It was about my whole family, and how they'd always minimized my feelings, dismissed my pain, and treated me like I was invisible. And now it was happening all over again. Okay, so I finally managed to get Olivia on the phone. I was shaking, trying to keep my voice calm, but inside I was a raging inferno. Olivia, I started. We need to talk about what you're doing online. Oh, so now you want to talk to me. Her voice dripped with sarcasm. After you parade your new little girlfriend all over social media for the world to see. This isn't about Maya, I said, clenching my jaw. This is about you spreading lies and trying to ruin my reputation. You need to stop. Lies, she scoffed. Everyone knows what you're like, Ethan. You're just using her just like you used me. My blood ran cold. Used you, Olivia, we agreed to the divorce. It was mutual. Oh right, she said, her voice dripping with fake innocence. Because leaving me for some younger woman is totally mutual. Younger, Maya is literally a year older than me, but logic clearly wasn't part of this conversation. Later that day, I went to my parents' house. I needed anyone, to understand what I was going through. My dad was out of town, so it was just me and my mom. I showed her the comments, the fake profiles, everything. I explained how scared and violated Maya felt. I thought maybe, just maybe, seeing the evidence would change her mind. I was wrong. Ethan, honey, she said, patting my hand condescendingly, Olivia is just going through a hard time. You know she's always been sensitive. Sensitive? I practically yelled. She's harassing my girlfriend. This isn't sensitive, this is crazy. My mom sighed dramatically. You need to be more understanding, Ethan. You're the one who left her. You're the one who moved on so quickly. You can't blame her for being upset. Blame her? She's the one creating fake accounts and spreading lies. My voice cracked. I felt like I was losing my mind. Well, my mom said, picking up a magazine and casually flipping through it, as if we weren't discussing the systematic destruction of my life. Maybe if you hadn't flaunted your new relationship so publicly, she wouldn't be reacting this way. Flaunted? A single picture on Instagram. That's flaunting. I stared at her, completely dumbfounded. This wasn't normal. This wasn't how families were supposed to react. They were supposed to support each other, not enable toxic behavior. So, what you're saying is it's my fault? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. My mom didn't even look up. I'm just saying you need to take some responsibility for your actions, Ethan. That's when it hit me. This wasn't about Olivia. This was about them. My family. They had always found a way to make me feel like I was the problem. And now, even when I was clearly the victim, they were still finding a way to blame me. I stood up, my hands shaking. I can't do this, I mumbled and walked out. I drove home in a daze. I felt like I was drowning, suffocating under the weight of their twisted logic. This wasn't just family drama, this was a nightmare. And I was trapped in it. 2 weeks later, and things have gone from bad to nuclear. Olivia's harassment hasn't stopped. It's actually gotten worse. She's moved on from online comments to contacting Maya's employer with completely fabricated stories about Maya being unethical and incompetent. Luckily, Maya's boss is a reasonable person and saw right through Olivia's BS. But the fact that she even tried to jeopardize Maya's career is beyond disturbing. Maya's been amazing through all of this, but I can see the strain it's putting on her, and I feel so damn guilty. And then the family got involved. My older brother Mark, the golden child himself, called me last night. I haven't spoken to him in months. Ethan, he started, his voice all condescending concern. Mom's really worried about Olivia. She's not herself. You need to talk to her, apologize, and just smooth things over. Apologize? For what? For having the audacity to find happiness after our marriage ended. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Mark, are you kidding me? She's harassing my girlfriend, trying to ruin her career, and you want me to apologize? Look, Mark sighed like I was the unreasonable one. Olivia's always been dramatic. You know that. Just tell her you're sorry, make nice, and this whole thing will blow over. Dramatic. She's literally stalking us. This is dramatic, this is criminal. Don't be so melodramatic, Ethan, he said, his voice dripping with that same dismissive tone my mom always uses. Just fix it, for Mom, she's really stressed about all this. I hung up on him. I was shaking with rage. It was like they were all living in some alternate reality where Olivia was the victim and I was the villain. It's my fault she's acting this way. It's my fault my mom is stressed. It's always my fault. And then, this morning, I woke up to find my car vandalized. Keyed. Deep scratches all down the passenger side where Maya usually sits. And a single dead rose the same type I used to give Olivia on our anniversaries lying on the hood. I almost threw up. This wasn't just online harassment anymore. This was terrifying. I'm starting to have panic attacks, I can't sleep, I can barely function at work. This is affecting every single aspect of my life. I know I need to do something. This can't keep going on, but I feel so paralyzed, like no matter what I do it won't be enough. They'll find a way to twist it to make me the bad guy. But I can't let them win. I can't let Olivia win. I have to fight back. I just don't know where to start. Any advice, Reddit? I'm seriously losing it here, so I'm spiraling right. Can't sleep, can't eat, jump at every little noise, I'm a mess. Maya's been incredibly supportive, but I can see the toll this whole thing is taking on her too. She keeps telling me I need to talk to someone, get some help, but I just feel so ashamed. Like I'm weak for letting Olivia get to me this way. Then, Maya's best friend, Chloe, comes over. Chloe's a lawyer, sharp as a tack, and she's seen some shit. I've always liked her, she's one of those people who just sees right through the BS. We're sitting on the patio, Maya's inside making tea, and I just break. I start telling Chloe everything. About the online harassment, the family's reaction, the vandalized car, the panic attacks. I'm rambling, stuttering, barely making sense, but Chloe just listens. Doesn't interrupt, doesn't judge, just listens. When I'm finally done, I just sit there staring at my hands, waiting for the inevitable "you need to be the bigger person" lecture. But it doesn't come. Instead, Chloe looks at me, her eyes wide with disbelief, and says, "Ethan, are you fucking kidding me?" That right there was a turning point. Someone finally saw how insane this whole situation was. Someone finally validated my feelings. This isn't normal, Ethan, she continues, her voice firm but gentle. This isn't just Olivia being sensitive. This is harassment, this is abuse, and you're not overreacting. I just stare at her, tears welling up in my eyes. But my family, they keep saying I'm being dramatic, that I need to just apologize and make it go away. Chloe shakes her head. Your family is enabling her, Ethan. They're making excuses for her toxic behavior, and that's not okay. Then she says something that just blew my mind. This isn't about you, Ethan. This is about Olivia's need for control. She's trying to punish you for moving on, for being happy. And your family, by minimizing her actions, is giving her permission to continue. Permission. That word hit me like a ton of bricks. They were giving her permission to abuse me. It was like a light bulb went off in my head. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't overreacting. I was being abused, and my family was complicit. What do? I ask, my voice barely a whisper. Chloe looks at me, her eyes full of compassion and determination. You document everything, Ethan. Every email, every text, every phone call, screenshots of the online comments, pictures of the car, everything. And then you get a lawyer. You need to protect yourself. You need to protect Maya. That conversation with Chloe, it changed everything. It gave me the strength to finally see the situation for what it was. It gave me the courage to start fighting back. I'm still scared, still anxious, but for the first time in weeks, I feel a flicker of hope. I'm not alone in this. And I'm not going to let them win. I came home from work one evening, exhausted and stressed. The past few weeks had been a blur of anxiety and sleepless nights, thanks to Olivia's relentless harassment. I just wanted some peace, some normalcy. I pulled into my driveway, and that's when I saw it. My car was vandalized, keyed. Deep, jagged scratches ran down the entire passenger side where Maya usually sits, and on the hood, a single dead rose. The same type of dark crimson rose I used to give Olivia on our anniversaries. My stomach lurched. I almost threw up right there in the driveway. This wasn't just online harassment anymore. This wasn't just angry words and fake profiles. This was physical. This was a violation. This was a threat. I stumbled out of the car, my legs shaky. I ran my hand over the deep gouges in the paint, feeling the rough edges under my fingertips. It was like she was trying to carve her pain, her rage, directly onto my life. The dead rose, that was the final twist of the knife. A twisted, sick reminder of our past, of what she thought I had taken from her. Up until that point, there had still been this tiny, nagging voice in the back of my head, whispering, maybe you're overreacting. Maybe she's just hurt. Maybe you should just apologize and make it go away. But seeing my car like that, seeing that dead rose, that voice was silenced. Dead. Just like that rose, something inside me snapped. It was like a dam broke, releasing a flood of rage and, strangely, relief. Relief that the charade was finally over. Relief that I no longer had to pretend that this was just Olivia being sensitive. This was malicious. This was intentional. This was dangerous. My hands clenched into fists. My heart pounded in my chest. I felt this surge of adrenaline, this primal urge to fight. Not physically, of course, but legally. I was done being the victim. I was done letting my family minimize her abuse and gaslight me into thinking it was my fault. Right then and there, standing in my driveway, staring at my vandalized car and that single dead rose, I made a decision. I was going to fight back. I was going to protect myself. I was going to protect Maya. I was going to get a restraining order. And I wasn't going to let anyone, not even my own family, stop me. This wasn't just about me anymore. This was about taking back my life. This was about finally standing up for myself. All right, Reddit, buckle up, because this is where shit gets real. After that dead rose incident, I knew I couldn't just sit around and wait for the next escalation. Chloe's words kept ringing in my ears. Document everything. So that's exactly what I did. I went full on Sherlock Holmes. First, I printed out every single screenshot of the harassing comments, the fake profiles, everything. I even managed to find archived versions of some of the posts that Olivia had deleted, thinking she could erase her digital trail. Nope. The internet is forever, Olivia. Forever. Then, I gathered all the texts and emails from Olivia. The nasty ones, the manipulative ones, the ones where she tried to gaslight me into thinking I was the crazy one. Printed those bad boys out too. Organized them chronologically, with little sticky notes highlighting the particularly egregious bits. Color-coded, even. I was on a mission. Next, I documented the damage to my car. Took pictures from every angle, close-ups of the key marks and that damn dead rose. Filed a police report, even though I knew they probably couldn't do much. But I needed a paper trail, official documentation of the escalating nature of her harassment. CYA, people. CYA. Chloe, bless her soul, connected me with a lawyer she knew who specialized in domestic disputes and restraining orders. We met, and I laid out all the evidence, the whole sordid saga. He listened intently, nodding occasionally, and when I was finished, he just looked at me and said, "We've got a strong case." Hearing those words, a wave of relief washed over me. I finally felt like I had someone in my corner, someone who believed me, someone who was willing to fight for me. The lawyer helped me draft a statement for the court, detailing Olivia's harassment and its impact on my life. I poured my heart and soul into that statement. I talked about the anxiety, the panic attacks, the sleepless nights. I talked about the fear, the constant fear that she would escalate further, that she would hurt Maya. I didn't hold back, I let it all out. It was raw, it was emotional, it was real. And then, the most satisfying part, gathering character witnesses. I reached out to friends who had witnessed Olivia's behavior firsthand, people who could corroborate my story. They didn't hesitate to offer their support. They wrote affidavits, detailing specific incidents, painting a clear picture of Olivia's manipulative and abusive tactics. It felt so good to finally have people on my side, validating my experience, telling me I wasn't crazy. I knew pursuing a restraining order would likely escalate the conflict with Olivia, and probably with my family too. But I was prepared. I was ready. I was done being afraid. This wasn't just about winning a legal battle, it was about taking back my life. It was about reclaiming my peace of mind. It was about protecting Maya. It was about finally breaking free from the cycle of abuse and invalidation that had plagued me for so long. I was terrified, yes, but I was also determined. This was my fight, and I was going to win. The courtroom was small, stuffy, and smelled faintly of stale coffee. My lawyer sat beside me, a calm, reassuring presence amidst the swirling anxiety in my gut. Across from us sat Olivia. No lawyer, just her. She looked smaller than I remembered, almost fragile. But I knew better than to be fooled by appearances. The judge, a stern-looking woman with steel-gray hair, called the case. Olivia last name versus Ethan last name, petition for a restraining order. My heart pounded in my chest. This was it. Olivia predictably launched into a dramatic performance. Tears welling up in her eyes, voice trembling, she painted herself as the victim. "Your Honor," she sobbed, "Ethan left me for another woman. He's flaunting his happiness in my face, and it's driving me to desperation. I just miss him so much." I rolled my eyes internally. Classic Olivia, playing the victim card, manipulating the situation to her advantage. My lawyer nudged me gently, reminding me to stay calm. "Mr. Last Name," the judge addressed me, "your response." I took a deep breath, trying to steady my nerves. "Your Honor," I began, my voice clear and steady, "Olivia's claims are simply not true. Our divorce was mutual. And while I understand she may be experiencing difficult emotions, her actions have gone far beyond simply expressing sadness. They have crossed the line into harassment and intimidation." I then proceeded to present my evidence. Methodically, calmly, I laid it all out. The printed screenshots of the harassing online comments, the fake profiles she created, the emails and texts filled with vitriol and threats. I even showed the pictures of my vandalized car, the deep scratches, and that single dead rose. With each piece of evidence, I felt a growing sense of empowerment. This was my truth, and I was finally getting to tell it. Olivia's eyes darted around the room, her face flushed. She tried to interject with her own twisted version of events, but the judge shut her down each time. "Ms. Last Name, you will have your chance to speak. Please let Mr. Last Name finish." The turning point came when I presented the character witness statements. Friends who had witnessed Olivia's behavior firsthand, their words echoing my own, validating my experience. It was like a weight lifted off my shoulders. I wasn't alone, people believed me. When I finished, the silence in the courtroom was thick with tension. The judge looked at Olivia, her expression unreadable. "Ms. Last Name," she said, "do you have anything to add?" Olivia stammered, her carefully constructed facade crumbling. She tried to deny the evidence, to claim it was all a misunderstanding, but her words lacked conviction. She was losing control of the narrative. The power dynamic had shifted, and then the judge delivered the verdict. "Based on the evidence presented, I find in favor of Mr. Last Name. The restraining order is granted." The words hung in the air, heavy and final. I felt a wave of relief wash over me, so intense it almost brought me to my knees. I had won. Olivia's reaction was explosive. She erupted in a rage, screaming accusations and insults at me and Maya, who was sitting quietly in the back of the courtroom. "You liar," she shrieked. "You ruined my life, I hate you." But her words, once so potent, now felt hollow, empty. I looked at her, not with anger but with pity. In that moment, I realized that her rage wasn't about me. It was about her. About her own inability to accept responsibility for her actions. About her deep-seated insecurities and her desperate need for control. I felt a sense of detachment, a strange calmness amidst the storm of her fury. I was finally free, free from her control, free from my family's enabling, free from the weight of their expectations and their twisted logic. I was free to be happy. And that, more than anything, was the most satisfying victory of all. It's been 6 months since the restraining order was granted, and things are different. Better in many ways, but also complicated. The immediate aftermath of the hearing was intense. Olivia went full crazy in the courtroom, screaming and crying. Security had to escort her out. It was surreal. I felt this weird mix of relief and sadness. Relief that it was finally over, but sadness that it had to come to that. After the hearing, Maya hugged me tight. "You did it, Ethan," she whispered. "You were so brave." Hearing those words from the woman I love meant the world to me. I realized I had been brave. I'd faced my fears, stood up for myself, and protected us both. Olivia, thankfully, hasn't tried to contact us directly. The restraining order seems to be working, at least for now. There's always that lingering fear in the back of my mind that she'll find some way to circumvent it, but I'm trying not to let that consume me. I have to move forward. The fallout with my family, however, has been rough. My mom hasn't spoken to me since the hearing. She left a voicemail a few weeks ago, saying I embarrassed the family and that I need to apologize to Olivia. I haven't returned her call. I've realized I need to protect myself from her enabling behavior. It's painful, but I know it's necessary. Mark, my brother, sent a text a few days after the hearing, saying something about Olivia not being well and that I should try to understand. I just replied, "I understand perfectly." Haven't heard from him since. Sarah, my younger sister, is the only one who's reached out in a supportive way. She texted me saying, "I'm so proud of you for standing up for yourself. I know it wasn't easy." That meant more to me than she'll ever know. It's a small crack in the wall of family dysfunction, but it's a start. Maya and I are stronger than ever. This whole ordeal has brought us closer. We've learned to communicate openly and honestly to support each other through the tough times. We're making plans for the future, talking about moving in together, maybe even marriage. It's scary, but in a good way. Like I'm finally allowing myself to be happy. I've started seeing a therapist, which has been huge. Talking about everything, processing the trauma, it's helped me to understand that Olivia's behavior wasn't my fault. It's helped me to break free from the cycle of self-blame and invalidation that I've been trapped in for so long. I'm not responsible for her happiness. Or unhappiness. That's a big one. I'm still dealing with some anxiety, some lingering fear, but it's getting better. I'm learning to trust myself again, to trust my instincts. I'm not the problem. I'm not weak. I'm not invisible. I'm a survivor. This whole experience has been a nightmare, but it's also been a wake-up call. It's shown me who my true allies are, who's really in my corner. It's taught me the importance of setting boundaries, of protecting my own peace of mind. It's shown me that I'm stronger than I thought. So Reddit, that's where things stand now. It's a long road to recovery, but I'm on it. Have any of you dealt with similar family drama after a divorce? How did you handle it? Any advice for navigating the fallout with enabling family members? I'd love to hear your stories.